Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to VEGA Conflict, and today I want to go further into detail about the targets that I described in the previous video and the suggestions, as well as point out what the gameplay would be like changed. Naturally, it means I'm going to be playing the game live real quick for this video, but I figure I'd play for about 20 minutes, farm, and just chat a bit along the way. So, without wasting any more time, let's immediately jump over to the Altarian sector and start going after the Mark II Dreadnought targets because they were dropped. Okay, so the primary point of what I wanted to do with the idea was make it so something like this isn't the case of everything that we do in the game, where we just repeat this over and over again in the case of Dreadnought targets. Give us a secondary condition to end the battle early if we can get to it quickly enough, such as in this case, because we have fragments, just rush down the cargo ship or something that's got them, so, destroy it, and you suddenly get the fragments for the Dreadnought. Something simple and easy to do. Well, not really easy, just something simple that can be added. And I'm going to farm the same way I normally do, so you're going to basically see in this video what a typical play session of mine looks like. Honestly, they're not that interesting because they're basically just a repeat of the previous. Yeah, definitely not interesting. Just repeat this over and over again for 20 minutes? Somewhere around 20 minutes, close enough. I just barely started fighting and I already want to fall asleep. I'm not even that tired yet. I still got like 2 more hours before I crawl into bed. I literally went from playing Warframe to this and now I want to sleep. So, on regards to the targets, the point is just as I said earlier, it's just to give us more ways to complete them, to make it just a little bit more quick so we're not going to be so bogged down with something like this that it's overly simple but overly unnecessary. So what else can I say about the targets? Well, additionally, anything that's been included by all of you in the previous video can be discussed, so naturally, there were quite a few different ideas for opening up and having certain outpost styles where you rush to destroy a certain building, or in one case, both the player and the AI have to rush to destroy an AI base. The first one to destroy the bridge is the victor, so in this case you would want a rush fleet, something like operators or Orions, to just rush them down and more or less just complete them as quickly as possible. Because you'd want to beat the AI to it, and because the AI would be stopping on every single building on the way, it makes sense for you to rush them with operators or an Orion. Just don't use a Wendigo. I will take every jab at them I can get, just like the Ancient Reaper. And after this, all that I do is I basically just log out of the game, and that's it. My play sessions are extremely short because, honestly, there's not much that interests me in the game. Chatting with people, as you can see, is going to be of interest, but, I mean, other than that, gameplay-wise, there's not much to do. Do I want a PvP? No, not really. If I want to play an RTS game and fight other players, I'd go play Command & Conquer Remastered because it's on a level VEGA will never achieve. Because it's a remastered classic. If only VEGA could be more like the classics, that would be amazing. Some classics, not all classics. Some classics sucked. They still got named classics because when they were made, though. Don't mind me as I get a drink. Got 3 to 4 more targets after this. So, what is the point of this video? Well, I couldn't think of anything to start with. I decided that I wanted to talk about the previous idea and further add to it, but at the same time, I honestly don't want to add to it because the idea is fairly simple and straightforward. It's just add a simple secondary target that the players can beat to complete a fleet in a very quick amount of time. So if you have rushing ships and want to risk rushing through the fleet and taking damage, you can just beat the target quickly that way. So more or less save the player's time rather than what we have now. Doesn't mean we'll have to hit less targets or anything like that in the long run. No, it won't. We'll still be hitting the same number of targets. It's just a matter of how quickly can we hit them over what it is now. That'd be something I'd recommend for Dreadnought targets as well as any future Dreadnought iterated ships that are supposed to replace them. And yes, I see iterations as replacements, so in the case of anything that comes after the ships we currently have, say any type of Dreadnought or something with Dreadnought stats that rivals or is better than the Leviathan in any way, shape, or form, I would say it's a replacement. I'm your ever-tired narrator, everybody. Just yawn. Wonder exactly why I continue doing this when I have no enjoyment for this at all. Easy short answer. I'm an idiot. Because I could be playing any number of other games at the moment. Because I've mostly re-downloaded my Steam library. Still have a few others to do. Thinking of bringing Ark back to the channel soon as I change things up, but I mean, that's just gonna have to wait and depend on how long that takes. Oh, I forgot to say, for anyone who was unaware or didn't see the comment and hasn't been around the Discord, I've set up a new computer. The only thing I'm missing is a graphics card at this point and more memory. Want to get a modular power supply as well, but that's gonna have to wait till later. Graphics card comes next. And I just quietly sit here silently playing this game for no reason at all. Great narrative there. This should be the last target I hit for now, because I believe the cargo hold on my Dreadnought will be full, and it's time to haul it back, start repairs, and then take care of other stuff that I want to do. So, to reiterate this entire video, there was no point. Anything that was brought up is correlative to ship targets and things like that, just making the game more interesting to play, as well as make the fight shorter if the player wants to rush a certain point in the target to complete it that way. Alright, my pack. Be safe out there. Happy hunting. And as always, I'll see you later.